former President Trump, now allowed to appeal the Fani Willis disqualification ruling by the judge. Now, the former president's attorney in the case, Steve Sadow, with this message on X: so much for the so-called expert naysayers who said Judge McAfee would not grant the certificate. You know who you are. And of course, we all saw Willis's appearance on the stand. A lot of people shocked that she was even given the option to stay on this trial.
Yep.
Do you anticipate seeing a different result in the appeal?
Well, I think there's two potential appeals here. So Georgia goes the normal track. There's a 7-member Court of Appeals and then a 9-member Georgia Supreme Court, which is very serious court. It's a respected court system there. And they're going to look at exactly what we said, which is how did a judge at the trial court level decide that there was that appearance of impropriety at a criminal case, which is enough absolutely to kick one of the attorneys off that she brought in, the special counsel that was paid $700,000, but not the DA herself. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't even make sense legally. I mean, it shouldn't make sense to anyone out there. If it was that bad that it gave the appearance of impropriety, it should have included all of the attorneys working with the DA and the DA herself. So it's a great appeal to take to the Court of Appeals because you've got good language from this young trial court judge who was trying to thread a needle. And I think the Court of Appeals and Georgia's Supreme Court, they're not as concerned about the politics as this brand new judge is who's up for re-election in a few weeks.
That was the point I was about to bring up there. He is up for election, his first go around here. Tom, how much of this was the fact that Judge Scott McAfee just maybe didn't have the guts to do and make that decision to remove Fani Willis from this case here? I mean, we got to remind you, he's got to live down there in Fulton County. He's got to make a living down there. Do you think that's what it was?
After 35 years of being an attorney, I have seen so many judges not be willing to make the hard call, and that instance is becoming more and more prevalent. Look, I do give him credit for this. He went and wrote that it could be immediately appealed. That's not coming from his ego. That's coming from okay, let's do this right now and maybe I get overturned. I give him credit for that, but this was an easy thing. You can't disqualify Wade and then say somehow, by the same standard, she who appointed Wade and gave him all this money and benefited from it shouldn't have been. This is all bad. Fani Willis is not ready for prime time, and I'm sorry to say for this particular judge, I think he's not ready for it either.
All right. I want to ask you this, Jordan, before we go. We know that President Trump has to secure a $464 million bond by Monday, or else New York's Attorney General Letitia James can start seizing his assets. And that doesn't just include assets within New York City. She can seize Mar-a-Lago if she wants to. So your thoughts about whether this bond is just way too high? Does it deny him due process? Does it go against the 8th Amendment, which simply says excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted?
Listen, it looks like it's going to be very difficult for President Trump to put together this amount of money or get one of the bond companies. So far, they've all denied it. To do this. Now, I'm sure he'll be working on it to the last minute possible, which is on Monday, to get that secured, because it would sure make that appeal that you're talking about easier. But he could still, even if he isn't able to get that money together, he is still able to make the appeal. Even while she may start seizing some assets, he can still make the appeal that this is, again, that this fine goes beyond the normal fines in the financial world. It actually violates the 8th Amendment to the Constitution, that this is cruel and unusual financial punishment. And there is a financial crimes mentioned and punishment mentioned in the 8th Amendment. But again, we have to remind ourselves, unlike Georgia, where he is going to be making the appeals here is in the state of New York, which is, again, going to be unfriendly court after unfriendly court. You would hope you just find some reasonable court that would say, you know what, if we do this, we're going to drive out so many businesses in New York that you got to get past Donald Trump and think a lot of companies are going to say, it's too dangerous for us to have our assets here. We need to move out of New York and New York City, because that's going to be the larger effect if this actually stays in place. But we know with Trump derangement syndrome, it's tough for any of these judges, prosecutors to look forward to the actual future of what this might do to the city and state of New York.